Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Malin and today I'm going to continue on with my pantry staple series, Cooking with Pantry Staples, and I'm going to be cooking with my favorite legume, which is the chickpea, or the garbanzo bean as you say in America. And chickpeas are quite similar to yellow peas, but they're of course different. They have a more wrinkly exterior. And preparing for this video, I read that they originate from Southeast Asia, but personally I know them more from Middle Eastern and Southern Mediterranean cooking. And I also read that they come in different colors. Personally, I know them as that beige pea, but they actually come in black, red and green as well. And yeah, I would love to try that sometime. I've never seen them. If you cook with them or if you use them in your country's cuisine, please let us know in the description box. I'd love to know what they taste like, what you do with them, and yeah, just what they're like. Chickpeas are a really good source of plant protein and fiber as well, and this goes for all legumes really. Chickpeas are also a good source of some vitamins and minerals like folate, manganese and vitamin B6 as well. As I said, chickpeas are my favorite legume and I really like their nutty taste and their creamy texture. And personally, I like them just like they are on their own, maybe dressed with a little bit of salt, oil and herbs. But they are really versatile, and I think we all, or most of us, know and love them in hummus, where you blend them into a nice paste or like dip. And they go with almost anything because they have quite a neutral taste. While it's nutty, it's pretty neutral as well. And they're super versatile for this reason. You can use them in soups, stews, curries, salads, smashed on toast with some seasoning, and yeah, you can use them for pretty much anything, and yeah, that's what I do. There's also a flour made from chickpeas. It can be called chickpea flour simply, or it's called gram flour. And this is really great for gluten-free baking or to sort of dry out veggie patties, or you can use it both in sweet and savory pancakes. I made a savory pancake here on the channel before called okonomiyaki, inspired by Japanese cuisine, and it's filled with vegetables and made with chickpea flour, so I'll leave that in the description box for you. So when you cook chickpeas or you buy a can of chickpeas, the liquid that they sit in at the end of cooking or in the carton or can is called aquafaba. And this liquid you can whip up and use in the place of eggs or egg whites. So it's really great for baking. You can even make meringues with it. And I've personally made a chocolate mousse with it that comes out really fluffy and lovely. So I can leave that in the description box for you if you want to check it out and make it. And in this video, I'm going to show you how to make a vegan mayonnaise from the aquafaba. It's super easy, it comes out thick and creamy, and I'm also going to show you how to put that mayo to good use in my vegan tuna mayo. And in addition to this, I'm also going to show you how to cook the most delicious lemon and herb chickpeas from dry, so all the way from dry to on the plate. And yeah, I'm excited to show you, so let's get started. Before we continue, I want to say a big thank you to Skillshare for sponsoring this video. Skillshare is an online learning community with thousands of classes on creative subjects that are all split into shorter lessons so that they can fit into anyone's schedule. You can learn anything from photography, videography, graphic design, and different crafts to how to be a better freelancer or to organize your time or be more productive. While usually I love to explore creative classes on Skillshare, this week I've done something a little bit different, and it's because I find myself getting into good habits, and then after a few weeks or a couple of months I fall out of them, and as I'm getting a bit older I find this more and more frustrating. So I found a class called Real Productivity, Creating Habits That Last, and I thought it's worth a go. I'm about halfway through the class now, and I'm really enjoying how teacher Thomas Frank helps me clarify my goals and also teaches me how to put systems in place so I can work on reaching the goals while making that practice habitual. So far, it's really helped me understand my own relationship to my goals and to my habits. And I really look forward to learning more and to working towards my goals with hopefully more long-term habits. If any of you would like to try Thomas's class or any other class on Skillshare, the first 1,000 of you to click the link in the description box will receive 2 months free of charge access to Skillshare Premium, which gives you full access to the whole site. But enough about Skillshare for this time, let's get into the video. I first saw someone make this kind of lemony chickpeas when I watched a video that Nina Montagne made. She's another YouTuber, and she actually got this idea from a Bon Appetit magazine recipe. So I've adapted her version to something that I really like, and what I've done is added a lot of herbs, and to be honest, it comes out tasting a little bit like chicken. Not the texture of chicken, but like the taste in terms of the spices. And yeah, I think this is really yummy. So if you're gonna make one thing out of all of this, I hope you make this. I make it from dried, so that means that I soak the chickpeas, and chickpeas can be soaked for 24 to 48 hours. And yeah, they need a little bit of soaking time to start softening, and then you cook them for an hour up to 2 hours, and that really depends on how old your chickpeas are. Older chickpeas that have been sitting for a longer time, they require a longer cooking time as well. So you just need to keep an eye on your chickpeas as they're cooking to see when they're ready. And also everyone likes them different. Some people like more bite to them, some people like them more soft. So just figure out what you like and then go from there. But yeah, let's make these chickpeas. I'm so excited for you to try this. So these are my soaked chickpeas, and what I like to think about when I soak them is to use a big bowl because they swell up a little when they soak, and I cover them by a few inches of water, and if the water gets brown or murky, I change it. And once I'm ready to cook with them, I drain and rinse them and pop them into the pot. To give these chickpeas a really deep lemon flavor, I use a vegetable peeler and get the rind of a whole lemon into the pot with the chickpeas. I'm also going to add in some aromatics, so I've got 2 onions that I slice up into half moons, and I also grab about 5 garlic cloves that I just slice up roughly. And as usual, you can find the full ingredients list and method linked in the description box. So if you want to make any of these recipes and you want to see it written out, you'll find it linked there. Once that's all sliced up, I just add it into the pot with the other ingredients, and then I drizzle over 2 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil. This helps give a round, deep flavor to the chickpeas, and then I'm also adding in the herbs. So I've got 1 teaspoon of ground coriander, I've got 1 teaspoon of dried thyme, half a teaspoon of dried rosemary, and half a teaspoon of dried sage. I'm also adding in a bay leaf, a good pinch of salt, and some cracked black pepper. And finally, I'm covering it all with water by about 2 inches, and I'm gonna bring it to a boil. And once it boils, I turn it down to a lighter boil or a simmer and let it cook for 1 to 2 hours until it's all tender. And if you find, like I did here, that all the water evaporates, you just add some more and cook until you're happy with the consistency and the flavor. And while they cook, I half a lemon so that I can add the juice into the pot later. And I also chop up some fresh parsley. This is totally optional. I think it's just nice in this season when we have fresh herbs to use them, but it's totally up to you. And once the chickpeas are done, I remove the bay leaf. I also remove the lemon rind. Personally, I don't like the flavor of it, but we're all different, so if you do, please leave it in. And once I've removed all of that lemon rind, I squeeze in the lemon juice of half a lemon, and I also stir through my fresh parsley. Then the chickpeas are ready to serve, and they're delicious straight out the pot like this. Or you could freeze them or keep them in the fridge for about a week. And you can also make a delicious hummus from them. If you want to serve them fresh like this, they taste really good over rice. And I also like to serve a fresh summer salad on the side with a mustard vinaigrette and pour a lot of that juice from the chickpeas in there as well for a nice sauce. This mayonnaise is really easy to make. It contains only a few simple staple ingredients that most of us have at home. And personally, I've made my vegan mayo with soy milk as the base before, but I know a lot of people are soy allergic out there or sensitive to soy, so this could be a good alternative in that case. It still tastes really good, it's thick and it's creamy, and I'm looking forward to showing you, so let's make it. I like to use my stick blender jug to make this mayonnaise, and of course it starts by me adding the aquafaba to the jug, and then I'm flavoring it with some Dijon mustard. And the ratio of these flavorings that I'm adding in here can be adjusted to your taste. But after the Dijon, I add in some apple cider vinegar as well as some agave syrup, or you could use rice malt syrup, and here it's important to just add enough but not too much. Then I sprinkle in some salt, and I use my stick blender to froth this up. It only takes a minute or so, and you just want it all to blend together. And then you slowly pour in a flavorless oil. I'm using organic rapeseed oil, but you can use sunflower oil or avocado oil or any oil that you prefer to use that have a neutral flavor. And you keep blending until it's a nice thick consistency, and towards the end you pump the stick blender up and down to allow some air to go into the mayo, and then it's done. It's as easy as that. It takes literally only a few minutes, and it lasts in the fridge for a week, if not 2 even. And again, a little reminder that you can find the ratios of everything linked in the description box if you want to make it. One of my first recipes on this channel was actually this vegan tuna mayo, and it has chickpeas as a base. For this recipe I'm using canned chickpeas. It's good for convenience, and that's what this recipe really is. It's easy and quick, and it's also good for meal prep, so you could keep it in the fridge for the whole week really. And it's yummy in sandwiches, for lunches, or you can put it on a baked potato or a baked sweet potato. Well, I guess your imagination is the only thing stopping you. So let's make it. To make this quick and easy dish, we're gonna start off by lightly mashing our drained and rinsed canned chickpeas. I like to do this using a fork, but you could also do it by pulsing it in a food processor or using a potato masher. It's completely up to you. And I like to leave them a little bit chunky. You don't want it too mashed. And then we're gonna add in some vegetables. So I've got 1 rib of celery that I just chop up quite finely, but still so that you have some nice chunks and crispy bits in the salad. And I'm also using salad onions or spring onions. So I chop that up into similar sizes as the celery. Here you can see the size I like to chop my veggies into, but of course you can chop them into any size you like, and then just pop them in with the mashed chickpeas. And then we're ready to start adding all the creamy bits. So I add in about 3 tablespoons of that vegan mayo that we just made. I'm also adding in some grainy mustard. Again, I'm adding in some apple cider vinegar and some nutritional yeast as well, which I think adds a nice depth of flavor. Finally, I sprinkle with salt and add some cracked black pepper, and I'm ready to mix it all up. Like I said before, this is such a quick and easy dish, and I find it really comforting and satisfying while it's still pretty fresh with that crunch from the celery. And in the summer, I think it's perfect to use it to make some sandwiches for your picnics or just your little hikes or excursions. So I layer it up with some rocket or arugula and some fresh tomatoes. And it's really as easy as that, and I hope you will try it and will enjoy it. And that concludes all my chickpea trivia for today. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Again, big thanks to Skillshare for sponsoring this video, and as always you find the link for their offering to you in the description box as well. So until I see you, take care, bye!